When we talk about what makes us human, we are often trying to define what sets us apart from other animals. It's easy for us to list the ways that we perceive ourselves, the human race, to be different and possibly superior to the rest of the natural world. We've developed full languages for communication. We appreciate music and art, and leave a legacy when we die. But some of these definitions of what makes us human and what distinguishes us from other animals start to become slightly less clear-cut when we examine our closest non-human relatives, primates, and more particularly, the great apes. Even to the untrained eye, the similarities between young humans and young chimpanzees are blindingly obvious. Seeing a young chimp respond to tickling with giggles is uncannily familiar. Throughout history, primates have been used as human proxies. Not long ago, it was still considered acceptable and harmless to dress chimps in clothing and have them pretend to be humans, invariably for comic effect. Primates have long been used for scientific research and technological advancements in situations where we have been unwilling to risk human lives, such as launching them into space. However, over time, this treatment was no longer considered acceptable, and this change came about in large part due to the research into great communities in the world conducted by groundbreaking scientists like Dr. Jane Goodall. Goodall began her research with wild chimpanzees in Tanzania in 1960. She was the first scientist to record the use of tools by primates, specifically chimpanzees making tools to extract termites from termite mounds. Prior to this, it was thought that making tools was a defining human characteristic, and it led to the grand pronouncement from the eminent anthropologist Louis Leakey, "Now we must redefine tool, redefine man, or accept chimpanzees as humans." Through her 40 years of research, Goodall revealed chimpanzees to be complex creatures capable of compassion and altruism, with complicated societies and familial relationships. This work offered not only insight into chimpanzee culture, but into our own as well. Today, with modern DNA research, it has been revealed that we share approximately 99% of our DNA with chimpanzees and bonobos. All of which raises the question, what is it in that 1% that really makes us human? Anthropology professor Alice Roberts is fascinated by the similarities and differences between primate and human intelligence.
The Max Planck Institute is at the forefront of some groundbreaking work comparing intelligence in humans and in chimps. For the past 9 years, Michael Tomasello has been closely studying this troop, and his work on ape intelligence is casting a fascinating new light on what it means to be human. And when you first started doing this work, were you surprised? Did you find that they were more or less intelligent than you expected them to be?
Well, that's the great part, is that they were in some ways more intelligent and in other ways maybe a little less so.
Yeah.
They will do some things that will just absolutely surprise you, and you just can't believe they're so clever, and then they'll just turn around and do something that's just kind of thick.
We like to think we're the most intelligent species on the planet, but we have to be careful about what exactly we mean by intelligence.
The first thing we have to get rid of in thinking about animal intelligence is the idea that there's this ladder of intelligence that goes from low to high, and animals can just be placed on it. It's actually much more complicated than that. Different animals have different intelligences, as it were. So the best memorizers in the world are squirrels and birds that hide their nuts in different locations and can remember dozens and dozens and dozens of locations, more than we can.
Oh, I was going to say, so when you say best memorisers in the world, that includes us.
That
as part of
includes
that
us,
comparison.
absolutely.
Yeah.
In the case of apes, what we think is that they're especially good at cognizing things about the physical world and understanding space and causal relations, like when using tools, what causes something to move and whatever. They're very good at that, and basically they're not that different from human children in that kind of understanding.
Michael's colleague Daniel Hannes has invited me to try my hand at solving a problem that they regularly give to chimpanzees.
You could just do whatever you want to retrieve the peanut.
My task is to get the peanut out of the tube using anything that comes to hand. I wonder if I could use the chain somehow, and the teaspoon. That's going to be really difficult, I think.
We'll never get it out again.
I don't think that's the right thing to do. It may take me a while to figure it out, but the key to this puzzle is something that you might think chimps don't have: the ability to use a bit of lateral thinking. Yes! Here it comes.
Yeah! Wow.
Excellent. It took me more than 4 minutes to get my peanut. So now, let's see how a chimpanzee manages. Oh look, he's doing it. It's just really clever, it really is, watching this chimp doing that. And he doesn't have a bottle of water like I had. He's got to think about how to get the water in there. He takes some from his drinking bottle into his mouth and then he spits it out in the tube. There's another mouthful of water gone in and it's almost there. It must be so frustrating. Oh!
Yeah!
He's done it! He's done it! Somehow, these huge brains that we've got encapsulate the main differences between ourselves and our closest cousins. Because look at these chimpanzees. They're naked and hairy. They're not wearing clothes. They're not talking about me. They're not sketching me. So there are some really massive differences between us and them, which must come down in some ways to what is going on inside this huge organ in our heads.